In a country already reeling under the COVID-19 pandemic and extended lockdown, there is a new threat of desert locusts, the migratory species of short-horned grasshoppers. Infamous for their crop-destroying abilities, the insects yesterday moved from the country's Tarai into some of the hilly districts. Even as the government seems confused to tackle these pests, there is a call on the farmers to take maximum precaution. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli alleges India of plotting to topple his government, accuses some party leaders as well of conspiring to oust him. 463 COVID-19 cases detected in Nepal yesterday, taking the national infection tally to 12,772. Less than one-third of the development budget spent with the current fiscal year coming to an end, mere 25% spent in 9 months prior to the coronavirus crisis. And Real Madrid clinch a crucial away win at Espanyol to take a 2-point lead at the top of Spanish La Liga. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has alleged India of plotting to topple his government because of unveiling the complete political and administrative map of Nepal by including Limpiadura and Lipulek regions. Premier Oli expressed his resentment against what he called an active role played by some party leaders themselves to remove him from the position. We have more in this report.
Speaking at the 69th Madan Bhandari Memorial Day held at his official residence in Baluatar on Sunday, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli alleged India of plotting to topple his government. Premier Oli blamed the southern neighbor of being active in overthrowing his government after unveiling the new political and administrative map, including the encroached Nepalese territory. Prime Minister Oli stated that his government was ousted in 2016 as well, just because he signed a treaty on trade and transit with China. Leaders from the ruling Nepal Communist Party have recently been criticizing the government's performance and activities. During his lengthy address at the program, Prime Minister Oli reiterated that his two-thirds majority government could not be knocked down in any pretext. Premier Oli was clearly referring to his own fellow party leaders due to the criticisms against him in the ongoing meetings of the standing committee, after which he has remained absent in most of the meetings. Prime Minister Oli insisted that the alleged conspiracy against his government would never be successful. The recent statement from the Prime Minister is considered as a part of his defense strategy at a time when he has been criticized within his own party, which he anticipates could influence the standing committee meeting.
Nepal recorded 463 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, taking the total number of cases in the country to 12,772. Speaking at the regular press briefing yesterday afternoon, spokesperson for the Health Ministry, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam, informed that out of the newly infected, 358 are males and 105 are females. According to the ministry, a total of 4,962 swab samples were tested yesterday through the PCR method, taking the total number of tests to 210,876. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry informed that 179 individuals were discharged from hospitals across the country yesterday. With this, the total number of individuals discharged from different hospitals across the country has reached 3,013. According to the ministry, 9,731 people are in isolation centers, while 61,731 people are in different quarantine centers across the country. COVID-19 cases have spread to all 77 districts of the country, while the death toll stands at 28 as of now. Welcome back. The government has once again come up with an excuse to spend the development budget at the end of the fiscal year, as the state coffers have emptied the government reserve and development projects have halted due to the coronavirus pandemic. Only 33% of the allocated development budget has been used, as only 15 days remain in the current fiscal year. In previous years, the Financial Controller General Office used to provide more than 20% of the development budget just in the last month of the fiscal year, which is against the law. However, the trend has seemingly improved in the current fiscal year as the state coffers have already emptied the reserve. Last year, at the same period, the Financial Controller General Office used to provide up to 20 billion rupees each day, while this year it has been limited to merely 750 million rupees. The government had allocated 408 billion rupees for the development project. However, only 133 billion rupees has been spent so far in this fiscal year, which is merely 32.65% of the target. Several projects, including the Kathmandu-Tarai Fast Track, have surrendered their more than half the budget due to the failure to accomplish the projects. More than 30 billion rupees has been spent in the past 3 months. Like in previous years, the government has failed to spend the development budget in this fiscal year as well, but due to the nationwide lockdown. The government, however, has no other option but to improve the expenditure of the development budget and strictly make the contractors live up to their responsibilities. The desert locust, famous for destroying large amounts of field crops, have entered the country's hilly region from the Tarai. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, locusts have now been seen in Gorkha, Kaski, Siangja, Kavre, Sindupalchok and Ramechhap among 18 hilly districts. According to the ministry, the migratory species of short-horned grasshoppers, however, have been spreading in small groups in Nepal. According to agriculture experts who attended a meeting held by the ministry yesterday, locusts that have entered from India have sporadically spread in many parts of the country due to adverse weather conditions, which makes them less capable of destroying field crops. The experts have also advised the farmers to contain the locust outbreak with the use of pesticides. Welcome back. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the people in quarantine and isolation centers in Rupandehi district what problems have they been facing due to having both quarantine and isolation centers together. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
डर त हुने नै भयो टॉयलेट एउटै छ बाथरुमहरु पानी पिउने सबै एउटै युज गरिन्छ रुमहरु सबै नजिक नजिक हिँड्ने बाटो एउटै भयो बस्दाखेरि धेरै नै असुरक्षित नै छ हामीहरुको लागि अब खाना खाने लाइन पनि एउटै पर्छ हाम्रो
पोजिटिभ समय बस्दाखेरि अब उनीले छोको चीजहरु आफूले छुँदाखेरि मास्क नलागिन बस्दाखेरि छिक्छु आफोक्दाखेरि त्यसमा चाहिँ सर्ने अलि डर हुन्छ
पहिला आएकोलाई एउटा रुममा राख्ने एक दिनमा दुई दिनको लगातारको नआएकोलाई हामी छुट्टै राखेका छौं किनभने उहाँ नआएको थाहा हुँदैन नि के भयो त्यसको उहाँहरुसँग त्यति हामी घुलमिल हुँदैन कोहीसँग नि हुँदैनौं त्यही पनि उहाँहरुसँग त्यति हामी इन्टरेक्ट हुन धेरै हुँदैन
कोही चाहिँ छैन खाना खाने बेलामा हामीले लिइसकेपछि पछि गएर लिनुहुन्छ उहाँले
सँगै हिँड्दा गर्दा हामीलाई पनि सर्छ कि भन्ने हामीलाई त्यो डर अनि हामी सुरक्षित तरिकाले आइया छ यहाँ अहिले अब यहाँ हामी चाहिँ असुरक्षित भन्छ कि भन्ने चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यो फेरि मनमा त्यो डर हुन्छ हामीलाई
सरला भन्ने डर त्यही हो कि अब सर सफाई र साबुन एउटै हुँदाखेरिमा अब त्यो अलगै उहाँहरु तल्लो फ्लाइटमा भएपछि त्यति छैन त्यति डर छैन
And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question. Why has only 1/3 of the development budget been spent despite the fiscal year coming to an end? Your options are A, sluggish bureaucracy, B, contractors' high-handedness, and C, effect of the pandemic. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for our special segment, Off the Beat. Desert locust, infamous for their crop-destroying abilities, have entered some of the Tarai districts of Nepal. The migratory species of short-horned grasshoppers were seen in some Indo-Nepal border districts of Bara, Parsa, Sarlai, Palpa, Sinduli, and Rupandehi on Saturday. Agriculture technicians have been consigned to the affected areas after being informed about locust by the farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture has consulted with pest specialist teams regarding the locust that came all the way from Africa to the Middle East, Iran, and made their way to Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then to India. Meanwhile, the government seems to be confused about the measures that need to be taken for the control of desert locust that entered the Tarai districts of Nepal on Saturday. The Agriculture Ministry has advised the provincial governments and the local levels to take precaution regarding the pest control. The Sankos road section at the Dhadingbesi-Tipling highway has been damaged even before the construction company handed it over to the government. It has been learned that the construction works were completed using inferior materials despite repeated objections from the local residents. The construction of the Dhadingbesi-Tipling highway connecting Dhading with 4 rural municipalities in the northern parts has not been long. The work in the Sankos road section had just concluded. However, due to inferior construction materials used, this road section has already crumbled. An estimated 280 million rupees was spent in the construction of the 30-kilometer road section. It has also come to light that the contractor company had flouted a number of construction agreements. The Tatupani transit in Sindhupalchok district at the Nepal-China border, which was previously shut down due to the April 2015 earthquake, came into operation from 31st of May last year. Since its operation last year, the government has collected revenue worth 8.2 billion rupees from the Tatupani transit. The transit came into operation just before the beginning of the current fiscal year. Even as exports have not taken place, imports have been increasing through the transit, according to the Tatupani Customs Dry Port Office. Tatupani Customs Office Chief Lal Bahadur Khatri told Kantipur News that along with a huge amount of medical supplies, other daily consumable items such as fruits and other edibles have also been imported from this transit. The Customs Office has targeted an additional revenue collection of 350 million rupees by the end of this current fiscal year. Security at the Nepal-India border points has been beefed up in view of the spread of novel coronavirus. However, smugglers have continued to sneak goods, taking advantage of porous border points in Bara district. The Nepal-India border has been sealed with the rise in the number of infection cases in both the countries. People have been barred from crossing the border at this time of the pandemic. However, despite the presence of additional security officers, smuggling-related activities have continued unabated. During the time of lockdown, Nepal Police and Armed Police Force nabbed goods worth 12.6 million rupees from different Nepal-India border points. According to security officers, smuggling activities have thrived at the porous border points. The smugglers are found to sneak edibles, ready-made garments, tobacco-related products, motor parts, dry fruits, among other items. The smuggling was more or less controlled when the government had tightened the lockdown. But with the relaxing of the lockdown measures, smuggling activities have thrived in the district. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for the special segment Off the Beat and Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.